Dr. Bosun Tijani. A round of applause for Dr. Bosun Tijani. Thank you.
Thank you. Gentlemen, welcome once again. I think I'll implore and encourage that you join me in giving a resounding round of applause to the Vice President and Wema Bak for this groundbreaking initiative. And I'll take my time to explain why this is a special occasion and why this program is groundbreaking. The program, if you look at it very well, takes into consideration three critical drivers of economic development. The first one being SMEs, the second being digital skills, and the third being our young people. If you're not aware, let me run you through why SMEs are a critical engine for economic development in any nation, but particularly in Nigeria. The bulk of the jobs that we seek to create as a nation and as a government comes from SMEs. While the number continues to change year on year, SMEs in Nigeria contribute significantly to our GDP. As you already all know, innovation and entrepreneurship is also critical for the complexity and diversity of any economy. And SMEs are known to be a strong engine of innovation and entrepreneurship. As we seek to reduce poverty in our nation, SMEs are a potent platform for reducing poverty. A significant number of SMEs in Nigeria also contribute to export promotion and regional development. So you can imagine a program that is focused on SME is an important program for Nigeria. If we move on to digital skills, there's a new fact that I tend to share, which is the fact that when you look around you, the number of digital devices and platforms that we all consume is extremely significant. I will encourage you to take a few seconds to imagine how many digital devices you actually use in your home or as you move around. The answer that most people will give is 3 or 5. But the reality is the average person uses 10 digital equipment. When you think about it very well. Most people in the room are wearing connected wristwatches. Most people have their phones obviously connected. Some of us at home, we have Internet of Things equipment like Echo from Amazon that keep tracks and give you different information. For most people, your television is a smart television. So your television is also connected. For most of us in the room, if you extend it, you probably use internet banking. For most of us, we use Google to find information. The implication of this is that the world we live in today, it's impossible without technology. But whilst we wonder and worry that technology will take our jobs, we actually need people to build these technological solutions, which means digital skills are extremely important. And this is why the third element of this program is then important, where do we find the workforce to power the digital solutions and technologies that we're building? This is where young people then become a major power and engine for economic development in the world we live in today. A lot of the developed countries, if you follow their stories, are declining in population. Not only is their population going down, the average age is also going up, because they have more old people than young people, which means these nations are unable to actually supply the workforce that is required to power the development that we're seeing in the world today. And this is where we come to play as Africa, as a continent of about 1.2 billion people, with 40% being under the age of 25. You see how powerful Africa is becoming as a major global net exporter of technology talent. If you think Africa's number is exciting, you need to bring it back home in Nigeria, where we constitute almost 20% of the African population, of which 60% of that over 220 million people are young people under the age of 25. So Nigeria is on its way to becoming a superpower because technology runs the world and we have the engine to help the world power this new development. This is why this initiative is extremely important. It combines the three different things that we need to see to start to leapfrog development in our nation. And it is the recognition of this government as well that as we seek to go on a path of diversification of our economy, we won't be able to do this without technology. That as we seek to go on the diversification of our economy, we will not be able to do it without young people, which is why I'm standing here in front of you today. The president, in his wisdom, has chosen me, a young man who's been part of the tech industry, to lead this critical revolution. The revolution where Nigeria starts to show its strength and use technology to improve our power globally. And this is why I consider this program an important program, because after a program of this sort, and every other program that is set out by the presidency, including that of the ministry, the next 4 years is going to represent a significant shift for our nation. Not only will we be able to leapfrog and increase productivity across our economies using technology, we'll also be able to supply talent to the rest of the world, and in doing so, bring in the critical returns and dividends that we expect to see for participating in global economy. It is on this note that I again want to congratulate Wema Bank for the Well Taught To program, also the Vice President for being a champion. I met you before being appointed, and you were extremely keen about expanding opportunity for young people to acquire skills. You talked about the opportunity for building tech hubs and platforms that can actually give this opportunity to a lot of young people. So I know this is something you're extremely passionate about, and we're lucky to have you as our Vice President. Thank you all so very much. I implore all the private companies in the room to step up and join Wema Bank in making this a reality. Thank you.
With Wema Bank, and then we'll take the national anthem.